Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. Somebody may have seen a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overheard somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll take a look at the case of Antonio and Ariane Lackey. On July 17, 2015, the Hobart police received a 911 call from a property owner who had found two decomposed bodies on her property. Through investigation, the police were able to learn that the two bodies were Antonio and Ariane Lackey, brothers who had both been shot once in the head. Here's their story.
Two brothers, Antonio Lackey, who was 16 years old, and Ariane Lackey, who was 18 years old, were reported missing. The brothers were last seen at a Maryville hotel on June 26, 2015. And they were seen leaving that hotel with 7 individuals, and those individuals were known subjects to the boys.
Roughly on July 17th, they identified and found the two young boys in the woods and within the Hobart area.
The Hobart, Indiana police received a 911 call from a property owner who lived at the 7000 block of Grand Avenue on a lot that was heavily wooded and somewhat secluded. She had let 2 men onto the property to do some fishing. Those 2 men were walking down a secluded, heavily wooded path when they came across 2 decomposed bodies.
Officers arrived and subsequently discovered 2 sets of human remains approximately 2,000 feet off the roadway in the wooded area. I arrived along with other Hobart police investigators, Maryville police investigators, and later on, investigators from the Lake County Sheriff's Department Crime Lab.
A woman came forward and told authorities she thought that these 2 victims might be her sons, who she had reported missing 2 weeks earlier. The Lake County Coroner's Office, through a review of dental records, was able to confirm that that indeed was true, and the 2 victims were Ariane and Antonio Lackey from Gary, Indiana.
We're out here at 7030 Grand Boulevard in Hobart. This is the location where the bodies of Antonio and Ariane Lackey were discovered on July 17, 2015. As you can see, this secluded, undeveloped tract of land, and they were located approximately 2,000 feet down the path behind me.
The bodies were skeletal remains, and the manner of death was homicide from gunshot wounds. Through our investigation, we interviewed multiple witnesses. We obtained and reviewed surveillance video. We obtained and reviewed social media records and also phone records.
The police were able to determine that on June 26, 2015, 2 vehicles pulled up in the parking lot. It was a group of 7 people. The police later determined it was, most of those people were from one family, actually 3 generations of one family. The footage shows Antonio and Ariane Lackey, who are not wearing shoes, don't have their cell phones. It's clear that they're not going willingly. The brothers try to stay together apparently and are separated and put into 2 different vehicles. Those vehicles drive out to Hobart, Indiana, to this secluded property. The victims are walked down a path. Where each victim was shot once in the head. The police know that there was some kind of ongoing dispute between this family and Ariane Lackey. Apparently, the police also believe that 16-year-old Antonio Lackey was not involved in that prior dispute. He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time at the Maryville Inn and Suites when this group of 7 people came to basically kidnap Ariane and wound up taking both brothers, unfortunately.
Subsequently, 7 people were charged in connection with the murders of Antonio and Ariane Lackey. However, there is one individual who is still at large at this time.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case. On July 17, 2015, the Hobart police received a 911 call from a property owner who had found 2 decomposed bodies on her property. Through police investigation, they were able to learn that the bodies were 2 brothers, 16-year-old Antonio Lackey and his 18-year-old brother, Ariane. Through the good work of the Hobart Police Department, working in conjunction with the Maryville Police Department and the Northwest Indiana Major Crimes Task Force, the police were able to identify the 7 people on the surveillance video shown abducting the Lackey brothers.
7 suspects were charged in connection to the murders of Antonio and Ariane Lackey. Each were charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of murder and perpetration of kidnapping, which is also known as felony murder in Indiana, and 2 counts of kidnapping. Those that were charged were David Johnson III, his son David Johnson IV, David Johnson IV's wife, which is Jerry Woods, and 2 of David Johnson IV's sons, which is David Johnson V and Ariane Greenwood, and also 2 other associates of the family, Michelle Hughes and Keontae Casone.
It was roughly September 29th when Hobart PD called asking for assistance. They did their initial raid. 3
of the suspects were apprehended by the Northwest Regional SWAT team. 1 of the suspects was apprehended by the United States Marshal Service, and another turned himself in. 1 of them was already in jail, in custody at the Lake County Jail on an unrelated matter. 6 out of the 7 individuals were quickly apprehended. However, there is 1 individual, Jerry Woods, who is still at large at this time.
The police are still looking to apprehend and arrest 1 more person. That is 33-year-old Jerry Woods. She's also potentially known as Jerry McCoy, or could be known as Jerry Johnson, which is her husband's last name.
Jerry Woods is approximately 5'2", 175, 195 pounds, black female, consistently changes her hair color from blonde, black, red, blue, has long hair, or last known to have long hair. She has an identifiable large tattoo on her upper thigh of a rose, and it's on her right thigh.
The police believe that she could be in Northwest Indiana, but they also suspect she could be hiding in the Chicago area because she has a lot of friends and family in the Chicago area.
She has a large family between cousins and also growing up in the streets of Chicago, so she has a lot of known associates and cousins, direct family members, indirect family members that range from the north side of Chicago to the south side of Chicago. And we feel that there's several family members that are helping her by allowing her to stay for the night and bouncing her around from location to location, which is, making it hard on law enforcement in locating her.
From what I've learned of Jerry Woods, she has a violent history. There's been other incidences and is considered a dangerous individual.
That's been our biggest hang-up, is getting people to cooperate because of their fear of the family retaliating against them. The U.S. Marshal Service is doing everything that we can, using all of our resources to locate and arrest Jerry Woods. Through my experience, my years working these type of cases, this is probably one of the worst cases I've seen in a long time. These are two young boys that needlessly were killed and left to rot in the woods.
So if you've seen her, if you know her, if you know her whereabouts, again, this is Jerry Woods, or Jerry McCoy, or Jerry Johnson, 33 years old, 5'2", 168 pounds.
Jerry is a dangerous individual and should be considered armed and dangerous. If anyone has any leads or the whereabouts of Jerry Woods, please contact U.S. Marshal Service at 888-805-6119 or text the word capture.
The tip line is confidential. Information is kept confidential. We feel strongly that somebody out there knows something, that last piece of the puzzle that'll help us locate and bring closure to this case.
Please call your local law enforcement agency or call the numbers you've seen on this show. Help us find her so she can be charged and brought to justice.
The cases you just watched remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any other cases, please give our detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods a safer place.